Welcome
Yes,
to episode 55.
54, you jackass.
Oh,
I already
why do I
told you
keep
that.
saying that?
What's
I'm
up,
just
man?
excited for episode
I know
55,
you are.
brother. Welcome to episode 54 of the Sports You podcast.
Yes, sir. We got you. Hear that Soldier Boy in the background?
Yo, most definitely.
Protect Soldier Boy at all times.
Are you excited about it? Because R2D2 is woo 54.
54.
I got it wrong
man.
the first time, but I sure as hell ain't gonna get it wrong the second time.
You're
Get in.
all right, brother.
How you feeling tonight?
I'm
You got
good,
the
man.
shirt open tonight.
Hey, you said dress light, baby.
said
This is
it.
light as I can get, man.
I wore one of them shirts that it's easy to tell the pit stains. So all of y'all on YouTube, follow us on YouTube.
Follow us on YouTube.
Subscribe.
Don't be snitching on yourself like that, though, bro. Come on.
Hey man, you gotta be transparent because it's hot in this bitch.
That's-
My upper lip is moist.
Moist.
For
And it's
for
not
all
from
of
the
you-
sporty.
For all of you who've been here since the beginning, you heard that shit before. But Sporty's ready. Gifting. Cheers
Rob,
to you.
cheers,
Episode
brother.
54. Let's get right into it. What do we want to start off with today?
The Denver Nuggets and the fall of Jamal Murray. Seems like this whole season, the Denver Nuggets have kind of been very disappointing to watch this season. Agree?
Again, no, not
Not very.
disappointing.
My bad. Not very disappointing,
No.
but the expectations that
definitely
they had for themselves going into this year, they really didn't
Yeah,
deliver.
LeBron came out with that long ass shit today.
I don't
and
want to
it's
hear it, bro.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, LeBron. I know you're a spokesman of the league and everything, but just no one to chill and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to be the lead runner of every fucking thing about the league. You feel me? So I don't know. Just like I get what he was saying because he was one of the first people to mention things in the first place, but
Okay.
just because injuries happen this year, a lot of injuries happen this year doesn't mean that a lot of injuries haven't happened in the past. You know what I'm saying? So overall with the Nuggets, yeah, two of their starters were out for the postseason. They tried to make the most of it. They got out of the first round. That just speaks to the greatness of Jokic. But man, it just sucks. We spoke so much about the Aaron Gordon trade. We were very high on the Aaron Gordon trade. And
you and me both, brother.
what did he do? I thought we had it written down, but I guess we don't. I think he scored like a total of like average 9 points. Didn't hit 1 3 the entire series.
No.
And was 2-2, like 9-2-2 or some shit throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
And this was a man that was supposed to step up when Jamal Murray went down, right? This was a man that was supposed to put them over the edge.
Allegedly.
Be the guy, the spot up shooter in the corner at least. Like be almost a little bit better or like just a step down from Jeremy Grant. You know
Allegedly.
what I mean? He didn't show up. And then also another man that we were talking about, his efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
He's a ball handle away from being almost like a mini version of KD.
Yep.
Michael Porter Jr. What do you have to say about that and his performance?
I'm not gonna, cause he had his moments. He had his moments because I for sure remember watching.
Not
him
in the
in
last series though.
No, not in the last series, but I mean, like at the beginning of playoffs, he had his moments. Cause I can't remember what game it was. I think it was game 2 or 3. He hit like 6 shots straight, and he hit 3 threes straight. So, yeah, I mean, it's not his first real time in the playoffs, but sophomore slumps just a little bit. Seems like the light was just a little too big because they didn't have Jamal Murray to take a lot of the pressure off of MPJ. But I mean,
well, they were speaking of a little bit of a back injury or something like that as well with him.
Really?
His back has been lingering.
No,
with
yeah,
it.
but I didn't think it'd be like that heavy of an issue no more. He seems perfectly fine. But I mean, like it just, hey, you tried.
Yeah, no,
Like
they
there's
did
no
what they can
there's
do.
no fail for him this season in my eyes, in my opinion. Like
So-
I don't think like this season it wasn't like a bust or anything like that.
Okay, but for MPJ, what does that say about him and this going forward? Does this mean that could he be the number 2 to Jokic, or is it more of Jamal Murray and we expect Jamal Murray to come back and fill that number 2 role?
Oh, yeah,
and MPJ will kind of just slide
into
this organization that's been building for a while.
He can be the number 2 when Jamal Murray is not available on certain
It
nights.
didn't show that.
No, I know that, but I mean
But we already know what Jamal Murray's able to do. You're talking going perfect in the fourth quarter, dueling with the Donovan Mitchell, who everybody's talking about a superstar this year.
No, I get it, but
so,
it's not.
Yeah, but I had hopes before that last playoff series. I was like, MPJ, like you're kind of the truth, bro. Like you just got to continue to grow. Maybe this is just another growing thing, and maybe I hope that it's like a lingered injury. I hope it's not an injury, of course, but I'm saying like I hope that it's that and it's not his talent or it's not his aggression, so on and so forth. Because his aggression does get a little bit, questioned overall. He's
could be
such a
bit more
good
assertive.
player. Yeah, I would love for him to beg for the ball. They mentioned it beforehand about him like complaining about his touches. I don't think that he's necessarily complaining about his touches, but I do think that him as a person, like, go out and get him. You know what I mean? You got to pass first, like center, who's like again MVP of the league. He's trying to get everybody else involved. Feed off of him. Be that guy. Be the Devin Booker, and he's the Chris Paul to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, let's actually bleed into that right there. The Suns.
What a transition, Robbie.
A new news coming out here. Chris Paul, allegedly possibly has COVID.
Yeah,
but he's under the health and safety protocols, of course.
Yeah, out indefinitely.
We mentioned about Chris Paul, Devin Booker, him feeding off one another, and what Chris Paul brings to the Suns team. They're rolling right now. They have quality pieces, and we're mentioning how he's a quarterback and he's dealing to all these pieces that are just, again, we're talking about Mikal Bridges turning into a 50-40, 50-50, 100 player.
I've seen that
at some nights when Chris Paul is at the helm. So overall, what do you say about James Jones and his executive work for the Suns, as well as what do you expect going into this next series? Because not only do they have rest, and this game right now is like head to head right now, so it might go to 7 still, even though Kawhi Leonard's injured. That's another thing. But what I'm trying to say is that what do you expect from the Suns, and what James Jones is already prepared this team with Monty Williams at the helm, with Chris Paul out now, but he's still kind of at the helm. You get me? What are you expecting for this?
Okay, so we'll start with James Jones first. Hats off, definitely to James Jones. I take mine off, but I gotta take all this shit off. Hats off to James Jones. Because it's like you can never go wrong with trading for Chris Paul. And then you can never go wrong with acquiring guys like Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, Cameron Payne.
Well, Cam Johnson, they
no, drafted. I mean they drafted him, but I mean like he has
Payne, they acquired,
right? But he has like he has a good eye, or he has
Cam
like
Payne was down low though.
Yeah,
he had no value, but keep going.
But he has like some good scouts around him. I like the group of guys that he drafted and signed and traded for, because like I said, you can never go wrong with Chris Paul. What I expect for him in the series. Okay, so here's the thing with this COVID thing. They have a whole week off, right? So I feel like if you're not back for like game 1 or 2 for the conference finals, you should be back by game 3.
I mean, there's so much that goes into it. So I don't know where the health, what the health protocol would be. With COVID, especially nowadays, everything's opened up. California's opened up. So with all things considered, let's get back into the Suns, because just like as a whole, and speak to James Jones real quick. He continued to believe in the people that he had on the team. He believed in a coach. He started from the top, like from the coach going back down, acquiring talent that not only fit the message but also fit the culture as well. We spoke about a lot of the time that it's all about the actual organization. Organizations, basically win championships. You know what I mean? That it's about everybody. It's a team effort. It's about everybody putting in and stuff, especially when you have a nice culture. And James Jones is like the main, like, there's a 3-headed dragon. Like, he's the main head right there. You know what I mean? So he's the one that's putting everything in place, and he's the one that really brought Chris Paul over as well, with Monty Williams too, because they really had a nice relationship. So they understood what this team needed. It was a veteran presence that is a defensive leader or a defensive like influencer. So you see little Chris Paul D'ing up, KD or anybody that he gets switched on, and he's not giving up, not letting up. That means that Cam Johnson's gonna be a better defender, and he's actually became an elite, more of an elite defender, underrated most definitely because he's young and he's,
his job is to only just sit in the corner and hit shots.
Almost definitely, and he does that very well as well.
Right.
So they have everybody in their roles. They have everybody on this team, and they developed DeAndre Ayton in a great way too.
Agreed.
I think that's a really amazing thing, because I always kind of seen DeAndre Ayton as a great offensive player. I get it. I see it on that side, but there's so many great offensive players at number lottery picks, 1 through 4, Karl Anthony Towns, that doesn't lead to winning. You know what I mean? So there's other pieces that come into it, of course. But now that all the pieces around him has allowed him to become an actually great defensive player too. So we spoke about it with Jokic on him, D'ing him up, and Jokic giving him praise. So if you're talking about the MVP, giving this guy praise about playing defense on him, what does the upside mean for DeAndre Ayton going forward? Everybody's comparing him to Dave Robinson and everything. And everything.
What the fuck was that?
Excuse me, I've been talking a lot. But I'm very excited for what the Suns are going to go ahead and do in this upcoming series. I think that they will split any games with the Utah Jazz, and then they'll eventually overcome them when Chris Paul does come back. But this other one that's actually happening today, the one that's actually going to lead into what the Suns matchup is the Clippers and the Jazz. So go ahead and speak about it real quick. I'm going to go ahead and look up the scores. Who do you got so far, especially with Kawhi Leonard possibly being out for the rest of the series?
Yeah, that's tough.
It's on Game 5. I'm looking up the scores.
Because they had said so basically this morning they had said that Kawhi Leonard possibly might have torn his ACL, and if that's true, then we definitely
the Clippers are up by 8, 1 minute left in the third.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
1 minute left in the third.
That's cool.
In this quarter, they're outscoring the Utah Jazz 30-17. So it's 90-82 right now. It's definitely going to be different, of course, later. So the Clippers, I was kind of thinking that too. The Clippers are still so deep that, I was mentioning beforehand that Kawhi wasn't the one that actually made the motor go. And I was totally wrong about it because he's the guy who's overcoming everything. Remember, you were saying he's filleting and stuff, and I was mentioning Rondo, and he's the key to unlocking everybody. And this game, they're not playing Kawhi, right? So they actually played Rondo, even though he did a couple, 3 DNPs in a row. So now they're playing him this game. I've only watched a little bit. He hasn't made too much of a difference, honestly. But I feel like they haven't really allowed that to happen. But I don't even want to talk about Rondo. What I am saying is that even without Kawhi, they're still able to put runs together. They still have Batum putting out. Marcus Morris, senior's going crazy right now.
Yeah.
And then you have Luke Kennard, who's finally getting the minutes. And they're just telling him, dude, be aggressive. Just be aggressive. That's all we want from you. We don't want this guy to just go out there and pass up all these open shots.
Is it me or Reggie Jackson's kind of like holding his own?
I was just about to mention that.
Reggie's really holding his own, bro.
I talked shit earlier in the year about the podcast about how they got Reggie Jackson handling the ball rather than Lou Will. And it's like they got Lou Will in the corner. They got Reggie Jackson handling the ball. It's like, what the fuck you guys doing? And then, Lou Will's on the Hawks now, and the Hawks are doing what they're doing. We'll talk about that next. Woo. But Reggie Jackson's actually putting out and actually hitting some threes that are very, very important as well in crunch time. Very impressed with this Clippers team. I still have him coming out of the West, hopefully. But with this Kawhi Leonard situation, it's kind of tough to see that, and it's kind of stupid to pick the Clippers, especially when it seems like it's an ACL tear, to come out of the West. So praise out to Kawhi. I mean, Joel Embiid's still doing his shit right now.
Yeah, Joel Embiid, allegedly.
Allegedly. Well,
allegedly.
Everybody knows about the Jazz and everything.
If the game's on right now, if you ain't watching it, I don't know what to tell you. But we gotta get into the fucking 76ers, dog.
I have them coming out the East.
Me too.
The Hawks.
And then fucked around and lost a 26-point lead today to the Hawks. And Trae Young had 39 and 7.
Yep, 39.
Whoa, golly.
I think the biggest story here.
That's terrible, dog.
I love Trae. Bro, what do we say? Playoff Trae. Playoff Trae coming out. Whoa. Because those numbers are not empty anymore.
I didn't think he'd be doing it like this, though.
My thing is that I felt like they would do the Steph Curry effect. They're gonna really get into him on the outside perimeter, really get right up into this guy. So they're really gonna bother him overall. But no, this guy is just an offensive guru, can figure out ways, find those holes so quick. Has that floater that's so easy to just float over any type of defender that's right on the inside there. Mm-hmm. Joel Embiid's a defensive player, first team All NBA, a defensive team, I think.
First all defensive. No,
so
I think
for
he was
him,
second. I think he was second.
Second, possibly. I don't know for sure, but basically he's made that team already, right?
Yes.
So this guy's nothing to scoff at, and he's already figuring shit out about that. So Trae, we always felt like they were empty stats. It wasn't leading to winning, of course. What's around him? Is he holding the ball for too long? What's the usage around him? Does he trust everybody around him, especially earlier in the season? And now look what they're doing, especially with the 76ers team and what they're able to do with that type of squad, right? We've been talking about them all year, talking about a lot of different things. But I think everybody's literally like playing under their potential here. You got Tobias Harris, who was almost a 50, 40, 90 player.
Yep.
Like, I haven't heard anything about him. You know what I have heard about? Ben Simmons, because he is dropping I think it was like 4-14 today.
Yeah.
Having like 9 points or some shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then before that, he had 4 points.
Yeah,
and it was like 0,
bad.
like 1 and 3 or some shit like that.
It was bad. And
So,
I think what makes it
go ahead.
I think what makes it sting more is that Ben Simmons was voted first all defensive team NBA, and Joel Embiid was second team all defensive NBA. And it's like, you still can't contain Trae, and it's like Trae is just starting to, like, up his status more in the league, that like he is an elite point guard that can get it done.
We're talking about elite point guards and what he's doing, taking another step up, right? Nate McMillan, this is what he said. He's called a lot of plays. Last night on his own, we want to build off of that, giving him the freedom to call sets and set guys up instead. So you're talking about a guy who's you know what Chris Paul is to the Suns? Remember how we're talking about that, getting people ready and shit?
Mm-hmm.
This guy, we even mentioned about Rondo, how he's calling out the Mavericks plays, and what did that lead into? Not really him playing in the end, but overall, like they weren't running plays at the end. They had to change up their strategy.
Right.
So this man, Trae Young, is setting up that type of same influence.
Right.
Having an answer to whatever you put out. It's a chess match to him. And the thing is that he's able to be the queen. He's able to have all these different moves, do anything at the same time, and be very reliable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's so awesome to see this, not only from Trae Young, but also from Nate McMillan, what he's been able to do for the squad. He took over the squad after their coach has been fired, after he's been fired from the Pacers job, after leading them to the playoffs with that type of squad that they fucking had.
Yeah, because the Pacers didn't really have nobody like that, to be real.
This is insane. They were 14-20, and then they got Nate McMillan. They were 27-11. Yeah, so now they're one game away for the Eastern Conference Finals.
And they're going back home to Atlanta, so...
Clint Capella on Joel Embiid. Whenever you wear him out, everything becomes tougher for him. When the fatigue comes in, it's a different ball game.
Because he gets frustrated and he gets flustered and he's saying shit like, he's telling the crowd like to shut the fuck up and stuff like that.
It's always been like that, right? Him and fatigue. We always say that he's not in shape, but now this season, it seems like he's in shape. Mm-hmm. Maybe it is his injury, but this guy, Clint Capella, is trying to be a bruiser on this man. And we already talked about how he was taking advantage of him in the beginning of the series. Clint Capella is doing the Penny Hardaway type shit. I just got into Michael. You just got to tire him out. So we'll see what happens with Joel Embiid. Can he have that Michael type of status, like, laughing at him?
No,
this is ridiculous.
I definitely like how there's like certain, especially in like this game today, where like you see John Collins, Kevin Huerter,
Collins. Underrated.
Hella underrated. But you see guys, and they immediately just swarm Embiid. They're swarming, they're bumping, they're slapping, they're grabbing, they're trying to get the ball and everything like that. So, yeah, definitely that plays into a factor of it, and it's just working out to Atlanta's favor, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, so let me just get into one more thing about Ben Simmons. because this is serious now.
No, okay, go ahead.
I want to just look at Ben and think that he doesn't get the same type of criticism that Russell Westbrook gets. And Russell Westbrook, like night in, night out, is a better player than Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Right? And why does Russell Westbrook, an MVP, get way more like criticism than this other man right here? You know what I mean? I understand what Ben brings to the table. Defensively, amazing. Can do basically everything else amazing, right? But if you can't create your own shot and you can't just provide that for your team, where you're closing everything else up, and you have to make the only reason Joel has all those double teams like that and is so close is because of him too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why he has to do all these extra moves and be so finesse with it, because he's getting double teamed from everywhere. So all I have to say is, we got to put Ben Simmons on this type of like grill. He's getting paid enough.
The pedestal. You
need to get him off the pedestal. You get me? And put him on the grill. He needs to get burned because
he need to get his ass cooked.
Why? I just don't understand why we're talking so much shit about a Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons. Yeah, everybody's talking shit about him a little bit more right now, but I'm talking more of, you're getting paid this much. You're producing way less numbers than Russell Westbrook, but yet you get way more praise than this man. Like this, I don't know. I think people really got to get on Ben Simmons right now because you're getting paid too much money. It's the same way I'm trying to get on Jimmy.
Right.
You got to develop a shot.
I get what you mean.
A reliable shot.
I know.
For Ben, just develop a shot.
Yeah.
For him, he need to do a real good shot there.
Yeah.
But I digress there. We talked all about what the upcoming NBA is, but let's talk about another team that's actually out. We spoke about the Suns here, the Luka-led Mavericks. What's going on there, Gifton?
Hey, so I am not sure. His name was Donnie Foglin, something like that. He was
Donnie Foglin.
He was an executive member that was recently fired from the Mavericks organization, and that seemed to have upset Luka. And also, there has been reports that so pretty much Luka is up for an extension this summer, right? But the organization is worried that, with certain relationships that he's established in the building, they're going to create a lot of turmoil, and he's going to want to bounce after signing that extension, right? So pretty much...
Or create havoc while trying to sign that extension.
Right.
Make it more drama for the team.
Right.
Interesting.
So pretty much he bumps heads with the GM. I cannot pronounce his name, nor am I gonna butcher it. Some crazy shit.
Well, somebody got fired. I forget who got fired.
Yeah, it was somebody in the executive team. I don't know what his.
I'll go ahead and look it up.
Yeah, I don't know what his position was, but so he bumps heads with the GM. He bumps heads with Rick Carlisle, and then you even seen it in the playoffs too when they were playing against the Clippers. There was this one clip where Luka was like, "Don't call a timeout if we don't need it."
Oh, so they fired GM Nelson after 23 years.
Oh,
so that's today, and I guess that he had some turmoil with Luka. So here's the thing: Aaron Rodgers is doing it right now. A lot of Russell Wilson was using it in the beginning. So was Deshaun Watson was trying to use it in the beginning too. We see Anthony Davis do it as well. Everybody knows that you have a certain type of power, and whenever you have leverage, be able to use it to your biggest advantage.
Yep.
Luka has the ability to make some drama in that organization, and he has a lot of press on his side too. There's still this narrative coming out that Luka's been holding the ball a little bit too much, but how can you say he holds the ball that much when he's producing like that?
How?
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I see it. It's
like the Mavericks. The Mavericks.
But
what
else you can do?
The Mavericks, right? But the Mavericks still have not delivered like Luka an all-star, not an all-star roster, but like a get-it-done roster.
Here's what he said.
Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help. He said that to the Mavericks organization. We get some other help. And so, I mean, looking at the roster, we spoke about it. They had all Jalen Brunson's no joke. Tim Hardaway Jr. is no joke. Kristaps Porzingis is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying these guys have talent. I'm not saying that I'm picking these guys that they're. I'm not calling them scrubs. I'm not calling them superstars, but I'm calling them they got players. They have people there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But there's tons of opportunities that were missed, not only by each one of those players. Even though Jalen Brunson was just nice.
No, Jalen Brunson came through. Tim Hardaway laid an egg a couple of games.
Yeah. KP was trash.
KP just laid.
Dorian Finney-Smith was great for the defensive side
until he had to guard Kawhi.
Yeah, he got cooked from Kawhi. There was a lot of good pieces on that team, so I don't really know where the beef is. My point is that
I'll tell you where the beef is.
You mentioned the timeout. All right, well then tell me where the beef is then.
It's Luka. Luka's just not happy.
That's what I said. Using his leverage, so he's not happy with it.
Right.
But I thought you were talking about Rick Carlisle because
that
the timeout
too. Because
thing.
I
don't think it's just one timeout that can ruin a whole fucking relationship.
but let's and tell.
I think Steven Silas is a way bigger loss, and that's where
because he's the dude who got their offensive pace and everything like that. He was the reason why they had such a high net rating last season. But yes or no, Rick Carlisle has to go for the last 2-3 years.
So Mark Cuban says no, and he says
I understand why, but Rick Carlisle got to go.
Why?
Look at what he's done. He still hasn't done anything since 2011. It's every year you keep just getting to the first round, you keep losing and losing and losing and losing and losing.
I get you.
And you barely make the 6, 7 seed.
I think you give him one more year. I think this is literally the last year. Because you would just have to say that this guy's getting more mature as a Luka Doncic, you know what I mean? KP again had just an up and down year. If this next year is like, injury prone and stuff, it's kind of like, okay, we can't really rely on this guy to be this person anymore. Like, he's got to be put to the side. Tim Hardaway Jr. is up for a contract extension. I mean, up for just a contract. Yeah, it's over. So that's just crazy. All of it is just up in the air. It's another, kind of questionable thing to look at right now. Even they traded for Josh Richardson. That didn't work out to the best as well.
Yeah,
so
that one sucked.
There was so much with this Mavs organization where they just underperformed. I feel like the only person that did actually perform was Luka Doncic. So I don't think that you can blame Rick Carlisle for that.
No, but you can blame Rick Carlisle for the underperforming. Always.
So you're making him the scapegoat. You're saying we gotta shake it up.
I mean, dog, it's not Luka. Clearly, it's not Luka.
Then it's everybody else. That was awful. Okay, so you're saying because it's everybody else, they couldn't overcome the coaching and it didn't set up. Because honestly, for me, I just see Luka just kind of taking over just a little too much. But I look stupid for saying that because look at the numbers that he's producing.
Right.
But there's plenty of those games where he had 39 through 3 quarters, and then he didn't score in the fourth, in 2 of those games. So it's like, okay. What do you want to kind of do with it? Maybe he's trying to get people in at the wrong time. Maybe he's supposed to take over the whole time. But he also had this thing where Rick Carlisle says, we take people out in the last 3 minutes of the first quarter, and then we put them in and make sure that they're going to be there for the last 3 minutes of the half. And it was like a timetable that they had Dirk on, and they put Luka on the same type of thing. And so it's just like a copy and paste type of stuff. And I think that you have a point if it's just again like cookie cutter type stuff where he's just copy pasting it, applying the same type of strategy to it, when Steven Silas was the whole brains at least behind the offense. And
right.
In the NBA it's all about your offense right now, you know what I mean? So that's just my point on that. But I don't know, we talked about a lot about basketball here. A lot about basketball.
Let's get into some football, baby.
Football. NFL,
yes,
baby. Let's get into it.
Stephane Gilmore.
The first one.
Sitting out of minicamp. On the move?
I don't know if...
He's kind of old, though, so it's kind of hard to be on the move.
I don't think it's necessarily he's going to be, old, because he's still a great player, literally just Defensive Player of the Year the other year.
Yeah.
Can definitely provide a spark onto any team. So, do I think he's on the move? I think this is just all skepticism, especially in the beginning of the year. The Patriots added a lot of people. Do they see this guy having a long-term type stuff? I don't necessarily think so. They always move off people pretty early. So it's kind of funny that they added a lot of people and they're trying to make a run this year. So it's kind of like you should keep Stephane Gilmore, especially if you have that. But again, the Patriots have a history of developing corners, especially getting somebody out there, training for another person, and then turning them into a Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
So for me, I'm not upset if I'm the Patriots. I got a head coach that's been doing it for years and creating cornerbacks that don't have any name in the NFL name coming into the league. So that's just me.
No, I mean, I think I'm kind of going to have to agree with you, bro, because Bill Belichick has been known to just a plug-and-play type of dude where he just takes a fucking whoever off the street, and the next thing you know, they're Super Bowl champion next season. It's crazy. But, I mean, even if I'm Stephane Gilmore, if you want to win, then go ahead and leave. But I think the Patriots have a good season coming ahead this season.
Yeah,
I think the Patriots have a really good year coming ahead this season.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. If you're this is a Patriot way. This is Bill Belichick.
Right.
This is a Patriot way right here. And if he doesn't want to be here, then he can be out the door.
Exactly.
And I'll get a draft pick in a scrub, turn that scrub into a All Pro.
I'll get Johnny Mendoza off the street, and I'll turn him into a fucking Super Bowl champion.
He don't care, man. I make champions. All right, let's still Bill Belichick, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said recently, Cam is way ahead of where he was last year. That your guy, Cam Newton's this guy.
Black
this
love
guy.
lasts forever, baby.
Oh, you said he's gonna have better year than Josh Allen last year, but I digress.
He kissed my ass.
Let's see. Cam is way ahead of where he was last year. He's very fiery. I guess that morning, it's worth pointing out that
Franklin.
Cam wasn't even signed this time last year. Obviously, he's way ahead of where he was a year ago. So I don't know, man. Like with all the things that are coming back, I think Mac Jones takes.
Mac Jones is gonna take a back seat. It looks like
no back seat.
You don't think so?
He's gonna be in there. I think I'll put $20 on it that he's gonna be in there before week 6.
Ooh, fuck it, I'm down.
You heard it here,
You've seen
America.
it. It's on Dual View.
All right. Yeah, no, like I just don't really see it being too much. You know, you always overhype this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You always get high hopes on this guy. You put the brand up. You put everything up, high hope. Same thing last year. Everybody was high hopes for Cam, and then look kind of season it brought up. I get it. He got injured.
Look who
the
fuck was there last season,
I get
though.
it. I get it. He got injured. Look at the people there. He got COVID. All this stuff. I get it. I had COVID. That shit sucked.
Yeah, that shit does
It took me years to get my career back in order. So for him, being an athlete, me just sitting on my ass, it's hard. It's hard for him. So I get it. My thing is that, well, you already got this guy right here. He looks, apparently he can make the reads. He's a smart cookie. That's what they want in a quarterback. And Cam Newton definitely has all that. He's a smart cookie as well. The thing is that, again, I believe that his body is going to hold him back. So 6 games. 6 games, and that's what I kind of give it.
Yeah.
Why are you so quiet?
No, I'm just saying because, you know, you always just hating on – I don't want to say hating on Cam, but you just don't believe in Cam, man. But, you know, I'm going to rock with the Cam train all the way, man. It's just look who was there last year. Look what they got this year.
So that's the thing. It's even more of a reason why if he's not producing in the beginning, bounce his ass. You know what I mean?
No, I get
They're
you.
setting it up.
I get you with that part.
Because so that when they start losing,
so you think this is a coup d'etat going on so they could just bounce Cam?
it's not. They're not trying to. It's a win-win for the Patriots. It's either Cam is like MVP type form, not necessarily MVP type form, but some sort of little subplot of it, or whatever he is. I don't know how to say that shit. It's a mini version of him MVP wise, and they can do a lot with this team. Look at the weapons around him, like you said. But if he's not producing, they're like, look at the weapons around him. Why he ain't producing?
All right.
Same fucking thing, and that's why they get to put Mac Jones in. I think Bill Belichick is starting to move into the new NFL like ways. I think that he'll put in a quarterback in there pretty quick, the same way that a lot of other people are. Throw him into the fire. What else do you have to lose? Josh Allen's running that division for years and years to come. That's all I have to say, baby. All right, but let's get into the Seahawks. I've been riding the Seahawks like from the beginning of this whole shit. How Russell Wilson.
You was about to call him Russell Westbrook.
Russell
Hold
Westbrook,
on, bro.
Russell Wilson.
Westbrook.
Stop making me laugh, man. I'm trying to be serious. He was complaining. He said he never wanted to leave in a new article here that I read.
Stop it.
He just wanted to, voice the opinions of himself, and
That's
he got
a
it done.
very loud way of voicing your opinions, but okay.
People always think, oh, we got this new offensive lineman. He'll work for us. And they sometimes just don't fit. It doesn't matter if you acquire new, offensive linemen.
Right.
It's about the coaching and how you put that group together, right? Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, for the Seahawks, don't be so high on, we went to go get 2 better linemen here, so now we're going to have a way better year because Russ got what he wanted. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that they accomplished. I don't think they accomplished a better line here because they've gone out to get better O linemen and it hasn't worked. So my thing is that you made your quarterback happy, right?
Right.
Let's kind of backtrack here just a little bit now, right?
Shit.
So you made him happy, did
right.
all things necessary, and I'm just saying that the Seahawks are making bad moves. I was kind of saying this about...
Why?
Well, the reason because I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think that they tried to go get a better offensive lineman. It hasn't worked for them out in the past. I don't believe that their organization knows how to develop or coach a good offensive line. And the way that Russ is, He's making because they're blocking so often and they have to block for so long.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired by the end of the fucking game. So that's why he's doing all this let Russ cook type shit at the end of the game. People don't think about that for offensive linemen. They're tired by the end. You get me?
That's a great fucking point.
So what I'm saying is that they've had it beforehand. It's just the way that it is. I don't think that it's going to be a big difference, and I don't think that you should count on that.
Right.
Especially when, I say let's backtrack right here for two reasons here. I was talking about how Deshaun Watson was talking about signing Will Fuller to an extension after his fucking PED thing, right? And I was like, don't give Deshaun Watson that much power. A player is a player, and you're running an organization. I understand that you want to make your players happy, do whatever you can, but if this guy's already having PEDs and he's not performing to his fullest potential, and I can get another streaker somewhere else, and he's just
still
great.
Can't perform with the PEDs, and what the fuck?
Well, he's good, but I'm saying he's just a streaker, and Deshaun Watson's making him into an even better player, in my opinion.
Yes.
So now let's get back into the Seahawks thing again. Don't let the players run it. They went out to go get a defense, right? A defensive guy to help out their whole defense. Jamal Adams came in. Now, he produced for them. Don't get me wrong.
He did.
But now they traded all these first-round draft picks, second-round draft pick as well, just picks in general.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And now what?
Nothing.
They got Jamal Adams, who's missing OTAs now. Now, they say it's for personal reasons.
Oh, okay.
It's a potential family issue.
Okay.
So he might just want to stay on the team. It sounds like he wants to, just by the way that he held himself throughout the whole entire season. It seems like he wants to be on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
My thing is that he lost all those picks to get this man, and look what he provided.
Nothing, really.
No, he provided a good amount, but he got injured. At the last part of the season, he got injured. Like he was playing hella injured, he said. So I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, of course, because I love some Jamal Adams.
Okay, that's fair.
My point is that they made their quarterback happy, so they made a good move there, because now he's gonna stay, and that's the biggest part that you need to do for your organization.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully these offensive line pieces work, but I don't think that they are gonna work, because that's just the history of the Seahawks. And now they're not really set up for the future, so now Russell Wilson has signed up for even longer here. And I think that's stupid of him. He should have just continued to do what he was doing and get the hell out of there, because he already put it out there.
Good.
And now the second time he does it, he's gonna fuck up his name even more, because he's gonna do it again. It's gonna happen if they can't produce. I don't think they're gonna be able to produce.
That's a good point. So Russ is just gonna get fucking ramsacked all season because he didn't choose to do something earlier about it.
ESPN had their offensive line top 10 ranked. We kept mentioning that they had the top 10 ranked offensive line. They have DK Metcalf. They have their other wide receiver,
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. They had 3 running backs that were healthy. Usually
Carson.
they only had just one.
Yeah.
And then again, you had your defense, and the only thing that I would say is Jamal Adams was not as healthy. But you still had all the other pieces around there. So for me, it's just what else is there to do? I've been saying this. How can the Seahawks team actually get better? They made some stuff that makes their team better morality wise and possibly better on the offensive line wise. But I don't know, if you let Russ cook, everybody else gonna get tired from all that heat he producing. That's all I gotta say, man. You got anything to say about that one?
You done fucked up, Russ. You should have just left while everything was trash, really. Should have just left when everything was trash. When everything turned over, bro, he just should have left right then and there.
Pete Carroll's old.
Right.
Leave that ass.
Pete Carroll's
Everybody's
old.
complaining for some reason, right?
It's weird.
He can't have a control over the locker room for some reason.
That's weird. And at Pete Carroll's status, Pete Carroll can't control the locker room now? Crazy.
I mean, I don't know. Let's actually get on to the next one here. This one was actually something that was supposed to be a long time ago. I just want to mention it. The Caron Butler and his efforts into...
Hey, shout out Caron Butler, man, because...
He's helping out people in what area is this? I think it's... let's see here. Damn, it might be in L.A. I don't know for sure. But let me just speak onto what he's doing. So he's working to end solitary confinement in prisons. Go ahead and open up the link and see if you can find a location for me, please. So Caron Butler, if you guys do not know, has a troubled past. Not even a troubled past, but a difficult past. I hate when people say troubled past. He has a difficult past in
Connecticut.
In Connecticut. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's probably where he's from. I think he actually went to UConn.
UConn?
Might have.
I think so. Either
Well,
UConn
it
or
might have been
UNLV.
D2 because that's what they're mentioning in the thing. Besides the point.
Right.
Caron Butler, if you don't know, he played for a lot of different teams
A lot
there,
of
but
teams.
most famously, in my opinion, the LA Clippers.
Yep.
I think he almost won like 6 Man of the Year on that
He
team
did.
too.
It was him
He
and
almost, I felt like.
him and
I
Jamal
don't know if he
Crawford.
actually did.
Him, Jamal
Yeah.
Crawford, and Austin Rivers were like the best
Nice little
7,
thing.
8, 9 players to throw
Austin
in there.
Rivers was there during that?
Austin Rivers was there. Remember, because he got that big ass contract. And
Yeah, but I
everybody
just didn't know he was there during that
Nah,
time.
but Blake was doing all this shit like, oh man, like I'd get paid too if my dad was the head coach.
Yeah, all that shit. All right, so he has had a difficult past and got caught up in the juvenile as a kid, the juvenile prison. What he used to do was like sell gun, like have gun possessions, like deal drugs and different things like that. And he just got caught up with the wrong situation. Went to juvie, and then eventually got into it with one of his cellmates during a lunch thing, and was put into solitary confinement for I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, he was there for
my
2 weeks, and was only allowed 6.5 hours out of his whole cell throughout the whole entire 2 weeks. So it was about an hour. Oh, wait. No. 23 hours a day in isolated small cell for 2 weeks. There we go. So the bill that he wants to do is at least 6.5 hours out of their cells every single day. So for the new solitary confinement, instead of there being just 1 hour where you're outside of the cell, it's a whole 6.5 hours. It's not,
that's
you just being in a dark hole.
That's just inhumane, bro.
That's what he
just
said.
Fucking inhumane.
That's what he said.
There's
He
no
said-
way you can keep somebody pinned up like that, bro.
Yeah, it says here. So he dealt drugs and was arrested more than a dozen. My fault, than a double. Then a dozen times before serving more than a year in prison on drug possession and firearm charges, right? So that's Caron Butler, and they took a chance on him, and they gave him a D2 scholarship, I think it was. But anyway, he was 15 years old when he got into a fight in prison and was thrown into a solitary confinement, spending 23 hours a day isolated in a small cell for 2 weeks. He had contact with nobody, no books, no radio, no television. He said none of the violence or other trauma in his young life prepared him for the despair of that situation. And he was speaking even longer about it, about him and his thoughts, how anybody can be put in that situation is terrible. It's just crazy how like you put people into the situation, and like it's supposed to be rehabilitation. You want
It's
to
not no fucking rehabilitation.
yeah, exactly. That's not. But I'm saying
cruel.
that's what you're supposed to do in this, prison. In prison, you want to turn somebody who is a
allegedly
bad thing, or a bad person, or bad for society, and turn them into an actual positive. Somebody that's contributing to the economy, somebody's contributing to the community, and one that's hopefully giving back. So overall, it's just really sad to see that that's what's actually going on in the prisons, and there needs to be more being said about that. But it's just amazing to see that nobody's listening to Shut Up and Dribble, because as a platform that you do have as an athlete and the amount of money that you get, it's great to see that you're putting that towards making your community and society better as a whole going forward. This ain't even about race, about religion, nothing.
Nope.
It's about a human fucking life. So if you don't agree, like I get it, people should be punished, but the thing about it is that like you're supposed to be rehabilitated, not like
thrown in a cage all day and say,
you're
sit
not
here before I beat your ass.
Yeah, like you're not in a small like little box with nothing and no fucking contact. Like that's just ridiculous. So again, Shut Up and Dribble, my ass. I'm happy to see that. I really treasure sports. Sports is like one of my favorite things of all time. Like it doesn't keep me going, but I'm saying that it's just a really great thing to just
life's not
kick
the same
back
without sports.
Yeah, exactly. Kick
Life's
back and
never
enjoy
the
your
same
time
without sports.
just for a little bit. And so when you see your heroes or the people that you see on TV just helping you out in this type of way, now they're able to help out other people in their own personal type of way, because they've even have different backgrounds from yourself or even similar backgrounds from yourself, and they can even help your community in the best way possible. So Shut Up and Dribble, my ass.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I think you've hit everything on there. Hit every nail on the head there, bro. Prison system's been fucked up. It's just the next thing we got to work on. But you want to get into this last thing?
Yeah,
or
this
no?
is gonna actually basically wrap up the whole episode 54.
I like this one.
Not 55.
54.
Episode 54. You already know we're just going to get right through these. I'm going to go ahead and ask you this one right here.
Talk to me. What's up?
Tua Tagovailoa throw 5 interceptions on the first day of Dolphins minicamp. His coach.
Oh, my God. In minicamp? Oh, my fucking gosh.
Him and his coach have
preached. Minicamp?
Yep, him and his coach have preached, hey, like, let's be more aggressive. Let's not really focus on the results. And, hey, let's really get you into the mood of taking shots, not just checking down and being this conservative person. So it says right here, by Tua, you want to be smart, but there's a time to make mistakes. Now is the time. So go ahead. How do you feel about that? Is that something or nothing? Him throwing 4.
Dog, that's a big-ass problem if you're throwing 5 picks in fucking minicamp. Because what is that, going to double in the season?
I don't know.
Dog, it's minicamp. So this is really when you're supposed to develop a connection with your receivers, supposed to get the routes run down, what offense we're running, who's slipping out from the flare, this, that, and the other. And you're throwing 5 fucking interceptions during minicamp? Tagovailoa, the fuck is going on?
I hate you so much.
Minicamp. This is a bad sign, bro.
Exactly.
This is terrible.
I'm sorry. No disrespect to you. So then shut up. It's the first day of minicamp. If he threw 5 picks in the first game, I get it. In minicamp on the first day. So stop it with that. It's nothing.
Hold on.
They already said they're being aggressive. You're talking about making relationships with receivers. How are you supposed to have a relationship and have confidence if you're not taking the shot and giving them the confidence in the first place?
I get that.
So you already had your fucking piece. You said it was something. I'm claiming that it's nothing. Let me say this much. Okay. Drew Brees threw 4 picks in 1 half against the Atlanta Falcons. And that guy's in Canton. So suck my ass. Wow. About this Tua being something on the first day in minicamp. You're ridiculous. You know what though? My thing is about you is that you're all about Justin Fields starting, right? Justin Fields got good receptions. Good like press and shit about how good he's doing.
Cool.
And guess what they said?
What did they say?
Andy Dalton's still our starting quarterback. Also, like I said, though. You're overreacting to minicamp. If somebody looks good in minicamp,
I'm not overreacting to minicamp, bro. Think about it. Aside from minicamp, you're telling me aside from minicamp,
you gotta go on the next one.
No, but I'm just saying he's never met up with his wide receivers on the team outside of minicamp.
You already asked that question. We'll leave that to everybody else. You already know how I'm feeling. In a comment on his, or you asked this one to me actually. I'm gonna act like I didn't know. Go ahead, say it to me.
Derek Carr on why he never.
What the hell? No.
What is it?
Man, this guy, I hate, man.
Go
ahead. You say it.
Alex Rodriguez makes his first public statement that he will keep the Minnesota Timberwolves and what? What are you talking about?
Man, I hate you.
What are you talking about?
Is this something or nothing, Gipton? In a comment on his most recent Instagram post, Alex Rodriguez makes his first public statement that he will keep the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota. Is that something or nothing?
Nothing.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
So you think that he's still going to keep the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota?
Minnesota's not fucking losing their team. No way. No way. Bro, the Minnesota Timberwolves aren't going nowhere, bro.
Oh, because they got a good-ass fan, like, a fandom or whatever you want to call it. They got a good following, huh? Yeah, they're up there in Minnesota. That's everybody's at the games. You dread going to Minnesota to play the Timberwolves. Oh, God. Are you kidding me? Move them.
Bro, the Timberwolves ain't going nowhere, dog.
This is something. This is why I say it was something, because he played for the Seattle Mariners when he played for the MLB.
Okay.
So Alex Rodriguez has a special connection to Seattle.
Okay.
He has a real nice story with it as well.
Yeah.
And he would definitely pay the franchise little thing to go over to Seattle as well, because he's going to get so much more money, so much more press, especially with the way the Minnesota Timberwolves are right now with those 3 young studs right now. Oh my goodness, this is something. He better move them to Seattle quick and as fast as it can be, because that's just going to make the league better. Fuck Minnesota. Because Seattle's way better. You're telling me I'm watching the Utah versus the Clippers game. You rather watch it at the Clippers' home or at Utah's home?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say Utah because I've never been to Utah.
No, I'm saying watching it on the TV. Utah goes way crazier than the Clips, right?
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We want Seattle on the TV. We don't want Minnesota on the TV
that's
making
what you're
their
saying.
fucking
Okay.
fit and all their shit. They don't
Okay.
even win there. Started something new. Get the fuck out of there. He has enough money. He's Alex Rodriguez. He cheated everybody out of it. He's going to move him to Seattle. This is something. He's going to move him to Seattle. Guarantee.
Okay.
Guarantee.
Let's see.
And the last one, this one's for me to you, Giston.
Go ahead.
Derek Carr, QB of the Raiders. Everybody's favorite.
The 10th best quarterback.
On why,
in the league.
is this something or nothing? On why he has never asked for a trade like other QBs. Despite the lack of team success, this is what he has to say. I want to do it here. I don't want to do it anywhere else.
Why are you talking
I
like
would
that?
probably quit football. I'd probably quit football if I had to play anywhere else. I'm a Raider. How do you feel? Is this something or nothing?
No, that's a big issue, bro. That's definitely something.
Why do you think it's something?
Bro, why are you alluding to a possible trade? Why are you alluding that you don't want to go anywhere else but Las Vegas?
He was asked about it, so he was asked.
No, but
why
I'm just
has
saying
he
though.
never
But I'm just saying that
asked for a
like
trade?
you're throwing those subliminal messages out there and everything like that. So that means maybe there's been a couple of conversations about Derek Carr possibly leaving the Raiders, but I mean, yeah, this is something. And I like Derek Carr like a motherfucker. You listen to the old
Yeah,
episodes.
I hate you for that.
I've been riding with Derek Carr, but this is something.
All right, here we go.
This is bad. That's bad.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
bad to
agree with
hear.
him. It's something, all right. And this is why. Because this is my point. It says right here. Why hasn't he ever asked for a trade despite the lack of the team success? Doesn't everybody blame the quarterback
Yeah.
for the team success?
Yep.
All right, that's first and foremost, right? All right, so that's first. And then he goes, I want to do it here. I want to do it here. I love the Raiders. Oh, I'm a Raider fan for life. Oh, Raiders. Oh, please love me.
Oh, Raiders.
It's because, bro, he about to get fired.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Nah, he is pleading, he's begging, I want to be a Raider, please, blah, blah, blah. Because if he asks for a trade, who the fuck want him? Who the fuck wants this man? Who's going to go out there and say, you know what, we need a Derek fucking... Hey, if you pulled up into... I'm the GM, or I'm the
Okay.
owner of my team, and I'm like,
All right.
all right, how we going to make this team better? And you're like, you know what? We can make a great package and go after Derek Carr to take this team over the edge. I'm like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Like, what? What the hell? Oh, I don't want to ask for a trade. Yeah, because, bro, if you ask to be traded, you're not going to get anything back. Like, you're just here along for the ride,
You might
brother.
get a first, but you're going to get more second-round picks back.
Here's the thing. I'm not being, like, I don't mean to be an ass. I'm just saying
But
I'm not
you-
in love with them.
I know
He's
you're not.
In the NFL, you have to have a really competent quarterback.
Yes.
I think that there is definitely, a different level from Derek Carr to a Ryan Tannehill, like the difference between the two. I think that Ryan Tannehill can take care of the ball a lot more than Derek Carr can, fumble-wise as well as interception-wise. But overall, what I'm trying to say is that that's kind of the line right there. It's either can you be better than Ryan Tannehill, or can you? If you're worse, I'm not even thinking about you. I'm thinking about the next person up because he's like a bona fide game manager that can take me to the promised land, hopefully. Because I'll put my chips on that.
Okay.
But all these other bets, especially on Derek Carr, hell no. I ain't trading for you. I ain't looking for you. And if I was the Raiders, I'm already looking for somewhere else. I'm sure they try to do everything they can to get Russell Wilson, but this right here is a plea. This is a plea. This is I want to be Raider for life. Please don't let me go.
No, yeah, that's there's definitely some writing on the wall. Because how many years does he have left on his contract? 2?
I don't know.
I know we talked about it a long ass
I don't
time
even
ago.
like to look at his contract because I don't care. But yes, that is something or nothing. We both agree that is something that Derek Carr has to make these comments. We also have Tua Tagovailoa getting that is something that he threw 5 picks in his first day of minicamp. And then you also have our guy, both of our guy, right?
Both of our guys.
Alex Rodriguez, the cheater.
The
Might be
cheater?
moving.
Damn.
Oh, he is a cheater.
No,
Big
he
time.
is. And J-Lo curved it to that boy.
But let's talk. But that's it right here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting the U once again. This is Rob on the mic, episode 54 in the books. We got Giffen, Big Griff,
sir.
Gritty Griff.
I was waiting to play the soundboard, but it's locked. But fuck it. As always, if you like this episode, go ahead and shatter that like button. Bust down those comments. And remember.
Hold up. Wait. To support the. Wait.
The. You.
Oh, yeah. It was late.
It doesn't matter.